across the world, it's really heartwarming to see the Edmonton community coming together in solidarity for peace and humanity. There has been a lot of backlash against ethnic minorities and religious minorities, but today is a day where we stand together, where we denounce any act of violence. Together we stand as a community with our brothers and sisters from diverse backgrounds.
What we have seen is a distortion of people's understanding of religions. And I find that those who use violence as a necessity to promote their dissent with a government, that is the greatest argument against their claims of dissent. Because how can you justify and stand forth with a person who does not have the ability to have civil discord, to show disagreement with views that are contrary to one's?
I know that we are here for a very solemn occasion, but we are also here as an act of solidarity, that we all stand together in the face of difficult circumstances that we saw in Beirut and in Mali and in Paris and Nigeria. These acts of violence trouble all of us a great deal and certainly make us anxious and afraid sometimes. But in the act of standing together and together in prayer, we can overcome these fears and insecurities to know that the vast majority of all of us desire to live in peace, to desire to raise our families, and desire to work together in community in the broadest possible way, and to hand down those values to the next generation. And so, while we meet together in sadness, we overcome those same feelings in our community together.
In these times of fear and division, it's essential that communities do come together in solidarity and make a call for peace in the way that we're doing today. And I really commend MLA Lauren Dack and the Muslim Association of Canada and all of you for coming together to do this. I have a very personal connection. My ex-husband is Lebanese, and he escaped the violence in Beirut with his family when he was very young. They came to Canada, and I'm very familiar with the stories of the things that they endured, both while still in Beirut and after they came to Canada. And I know that since coming here, they've worked hard to become productive Canadian citizens and to make wonderful contributions to this great province of Alberta that we live in. So the events in Beirut were very close to my heart. The hundreds of thousands of children, women, and men who are currently fleeing from Syria are just like my husband's family. And they are also innocent, and they need our help. They deserve to live in peace and security, and it is our responsibility to renew their hope through freedom, equality, and fraternity, working together. We enjoy this kind of peace and security here in Alberta, and we want to share it.
Sometimes joking is something we do when we're at a very deep, saddened situation, and that's what we're in today. We're here to stand in solidarity with all these victims and their families. It's even harder for the families sometimes, to live with the loss that they've had. All over the world, we see these types of crimes of violence that we condemn as an association, that we condemn as a nation, that we condemn as people all over the world. And really, that's what it's all about here today. We come together as brothers and sisters in humanity, believing in one important goal and one important thing, and that's peace and loving to one another.
This is more than just a symbolic sort of act of prayer. As has been said earlier, we are gathered here to stand in solidarity, for peace and also inclusiveness. We stand in solidarity for peace because, as has been repeated by many of our honorable speakers today, any act of extremism, or particularly when it takes the lives of innocent individuals, has no place in our faith. We are told that repeatedly with reference to the Holy Quran and the examples of the Prophet, peace be upon him, in terms of loving thy neighbor and working collaboratively with other communities, as was shown throughout ages.
We're gonna stand all together, regardless of our religion, background, color, race, language, to crack terrorism down. And we are gonna stand together to act as a human being and live as one community, one nation in this beautiful country.